Good morning, beloveds. Happy eclipse day. Not that we're going to get to see it, but maybe. The cloud cover's pretty thick out there. There was this patch of blue. I was just like, well, if we can keep a patch of blue, we might get to see some of it, but I don't know. So, like, if it's going to be cloudy all day, the least it can do is rain. But I don't even know if we're going to get that. So, here we are. So the title today is a good one. Letting Go. It is April 8th. Our title is Letting Go. Our author is Marian G. Moon. And this is from Lessons of Truth from 2012. All right, letting go. Many cling to old memory and behavior patterns that interfere with their peace of mind. If we are reluctant in letting go of past hurts, misunderstandings, and painful memories, we live as though these were a part of who we are. These memories and beliefs become barnacles that build up in the subconscious. We may know these interfere with our happiness, yet not realize we can let them go. Unless we understand that we are greater than our experiences, we assume that these are part of our makeup, something we cannot change. This belief holds us in bondage to the past. Dr. Raymond Charles Barker wrote, "Old hurts and old rejections arrive at the threshold of consciousness in order to get out. It is time to release them and move on. If we would stop reviewing and rehearsing these, we could do that and experience greater freedom. This is an opportunity to see the experience for what it is, one that is finished, over, and then be willing to let it go. We decide to continue in the old pattern or move on. It no longer has power over us unless we give it a place in our consciousness. Affirm, I choose to let go of old memory patterns and live in the now." At which point, all of us are going, well, exactly how do we do that, right? Well, one of the things that I will tell you is it does take 21 days to make a new habit. So that might be part of it. So one of the things that mindfulness, you can practice mindfulness and interruptions. So when you find yourself going back to rehearse or rehash an old memory, a painful memory, then one of the things that you can do is simply interrupt it. Think about something else, or go do something else. There's a meme going around right now that talks about if somebody does something that's hurtful to you, go and do something loving for yourself. Affirm who you are. And I would say to do the same thing with a painful memory. It's like when that painful memory crops up, go and do something that is loving, kind, and compassionate for yourself. Whatever that looks like. Sometimes, maybe you just need to go drink a glass of water. It can be as simple as that. But go and interrupt the thought, interrupt the rehashing, interrupt the rehearsing. It's happened. Whatever it was, and trust me, I've got some painful stuff in my past too. And when I catch myself dwelling on them, that's what I do, is I go and do something else. I'll put on music that I love, or I'll try and read a good book that, that'll get me out of that. Maybe I would call somebody and have a conversation, or put on a movie that really is, happy for me. And just let that memory wither back into the nothing that came from. And I know they talk about forgiving and forgetting. And I know that there are things that we don't want to forget because we don't want them to happen again. But that's part of that changing of the patterns. So if we find ourselves slipping back into old patterns, and here's where I'll remind you, and I think I was starting to say this and got sidetracked. It takes 21 days to make a new pattern, to make a new habit. So if you are trying to break a habit, and it's not, and you're struggling to do it, don't beat yourself up about it. It takes 21 days to make a new habit. And even there, because I switched from saying that you're a beloved child of God to you're a beloved expression of the divine, because I find it more inclusive. And there are a lot of people who have trigger words, that God is a trigger word. So I wanted to switch to something that was a little less triggering. And even every now and again, I will find myself saying the old phrase. There's nothing wrong with the old phrase, but I said it for a long time. So when I catch myself saying it, I don't beat myself up about it. It's like, okay, I notice it. And I say, okay, well, there it is. And then I will, put in the new phrase. And generally what I'll do is I'll just simply say the new phrase right after I've said the old phrase. I don't make a big deal about it, and I just move on. And there may come a time where I don't ever say the old phrase again. I doubt that, because it's a good phrase. But, I'm not going to beat myself up for saying it. And it's the same thing with your memories. It's like, okay, then, or your patterns. If you find yourself in an old pattern, don't beat yourself up about it. Simply, simply switch to the new pattern, switch to the new whatever it is that you're doing, and just let it go. You don't even have to comment on it, because I don't. It's when we comment on the mistakes that we've made that, then it just brings it all that much more up into our consciousness. And it's like, we don't need to do that. So she said letting go, and I'm like, well, how do you do that? And I'm like, well, apparently I do know how to do it. So those are all of those ways that, you can let things go. And it may be that situation of maybe you need to write it down, just, write it down, and then, close it off and say, okay, I've written it down. This is it. I'm done. I'm not thinking about it anymore. You may even want to burn what you wrote down. I don't know. But if you do it safely. Let's not start any house fires or wildfires. But give yourself the gift of grace as you work to let old stuff go, old pattern go, old memories go, and replace them with new ones. And that's the important thing. You don't break a habit, you replace it with a new one. So replace it with a new one. Go do something loving for yourself, kind for yourself, something compassionate for yourself, to take out that old memory, old pattern, replace it with something new. All right? It really is as simple as that, even though the work is, what was it that Jesse said? Our faith is a simple faith, but not a simplistic faith. So the steps are simple. The work may not be easy, but you can do it. They are simple steps. It's just up to you to do them. And maybe what you need is an accountability partner, somebody you can talk to about it. And what you want to do is, if you've got somebody that likes to bring up that old pattern, or that does bring up that old pattern in you, talk to them and say, hey, you know what? I'm trying not to do that anymore. So let's stop doing that. Or maybe you need to let them out of your life for a little bit. Not permanently, but it's like for alcoholics. If they've got a drinking buddy and the drinking buddy is not ready to quit, and they know that there are situations that they can't be with that person, or they may not be able to be with that person at all. It happens. It's okay. You got to take care of yourself. You may love that drinking buddy, or whatever pattern buddy it is. You may love that person, but they are not good for you right now. And they may never be good for you again. And, your first priority is always going to be take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Especially when it comes to letting go. Take care of yourself. All right? The mission today, should you choose to accept it, is to let go. What is it that you need to let go of? An old pattern that's no longer serving you, a memory that is hurting you, a person that is no longer a positive influence in your life. Let that stuff go. All right, that's the mission. The other mission I give you is the same mission I give you every day, which is spiritual practice of self-care, which is what we've been talking about. Letting go is absolutely self-care. And creating new patterns that are healthy and good for you, that is self-care. And as I said, when you find yourself in that situation of something that is not helpful or healthy for you, one of those old memories crops up, go do that loving, kind, and compassionate thing for yourself, whatever it looks like. My goal in the end is that everything you do for yourself is loving, kind, and compassionate. For yourself and others, because that's how we make a world that works for everybody. But the work starts here. The work starts within yourself. I'm going to work on myself. You're going to work on yourself. We're all going to do loving, kind, and compassionate things for ourselves and each other. And we'll get there. We'll get there. All right. And hopefully it'll be sooner rather than later. So, all right. Yep. And just, make sure that you eat dessert first and make room for joy. So, the quick housekeeping, I want to remind you to hang on. Social media. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. I encourage you to check that stuff out. We try and post light, bright, funny, uplifting, and enlightening stuff. And it is one of the fastest and easiest ways, and cheapest ways that you can, because all it costs you is a click. Go and like and follow and subscribe and share our stuff. Comment on the stuff, because when you comment on stuff, that also bumps us in the algorithm. So we'd appreciate that. And then if you want to know what's going on with the center, email info@creativelife.org. That is the constant contact. You will get one email a week because it's a real person doing it. And he's got hot links. He's got hot links to the social medias. So look out for that. All right. I think that's what it is. So I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day. A get this week started right day. A don't look directly at the sun day. A check out the eclipse day if you're in the area. A have some fun day, a let go of some stuff day, a take care of yourself day, an interrupt an old pattern day, a create a new pattern day, a create a new memory day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. Or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. All right? Explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be. Because there is one promise I can make you. It's the only one I can make you. That's not a pie crust promise. The person that the divine knows you to be is good. And from there, anything is possible. So get to know that person. All right, beloveds. Take care of yourself. You got a cameo from Foster. And he just reminded me that I need to remind you, Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next.